Hey everybody! Oh my goodness, my chickens is over there having a fit right now. She is telling me all about myself. Thank you for joining me today. If this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, let me introduce myself. My name is Keisha, and you are watching my channel, Lakisha Keene Saving Greens. And I came out here so I could record clipping my tomato that I'm gonna make my first tomato sammy out of. And I came across this little booger. You guys know what that is. That's only one. I found another one. There's a second one on here. He's up there in the high heavens. So my son and I are gonna give those to the chickens, and that's gonna make those chickens happy with me, and then maybe they'll stop fussing at me. I wanted to bring you guys along though so I can show you this tomato. I saw some birds flying around, and I'm like, I know they are not out here messing with my tomato. I've been waiting for it to get ripe, and it should be about ready to come off. I know there's another worm on this one, on this tomato plant. I saw some stripped leaves. Using the black light flashlight at night helps you to see them a lot easier. They jump right out at you, actually, because they glow. That light causes them to glow at night. So I don't see where the worm is on this plant, but I know he's there somewhere, or maybe the birds got him. Hopefully the birds got him and not my tomato. But anyways, you guys, tomato season for me is winding down on my bigger tomatoes, and I really hadn't gotten much because I had to leave during the height of the summer heat, and I left. And so my plants kind of had to fend for themselves. And well, let's say the heat won. Tomatoes don't really like a lot of extreme hot temps. They like a certain temp range. And once it starts getting over 90 degrees, then you can forget it. The tomato plants start to shut down. Oh, see, this one rotted. I was waiting for it to ripen and it rotted. These other ones look good still, so I'm gonna pick these off. Oh, that one rotted because it's leaning up against, pressed up against that side there. So it looks good from this side, but when you flip it over, it rotted. Shoot. Okay, so hopefully this one is still good. He still looks pretty good on this side. He looks pretty good on that side. I brought my cutter so I could cut him. Okay, you guys. Here it is. And I want to be able to put this one on my first tomato sandwich. It's a pretty decent size too. And the color is beautiful. It's very ripe and ready. Oh, you guys, it is hot outside. It's triple digits. In here feels so much better. So, okay, so I have my tomato here, and it's a little bit overripe and leaking juices everywhere, but there's my Kellogg breakfast tomato that I'm going to be using to make my my tomato sandwich with. And then I also have some of those ground cherries as well that I'm going to be using. Okay, so the ground cherries, I have this coleslaw that I made last night. And so, I know some people like to put sweet things in their coleslaw, like raisins or cranberries or whatever. And so I figured, well, I mean, I don't mind a little sweetness in my coleslaw. I usually don't eat mine that way. I like mine more savory than sweet. But I figured I could just add these ground cherries, which if you've eaten a ground cherry before, you know that they are very sweet. I figure I could just add these ground cherries to it. And that will give it a little bit of a sweeter bite to it. So, and I'm just gonna let these sit while I make the sandwich to go along with this salad. So here I have this tomato. Like I said, it's called a Kellogg breakfast tomato, and I'm just gonna cut it like so I can show you the inside of it. The color is beautiful. And like I said, this tomato is a little bit overripe, but I mean, it'll still serve a purpose, right? There's a little bad spot there I'm gonna have to take off. I'm gonna take this core, part of the core off too. I don't want that in the sandwich. There. Okay, so this tomato is, like I said, a little bit overripe. And as you saw in the video while we were outside, that the other two that would have been perfect, except for they rotted. And so I wasn't gonna use those to make this sandwich and let that be my first one. So I'm going to, I have this bread here. Now, I never made it really known, but I've been eating less calories. So I'm on a low calorie diet, and I've been cutting out a lot of sugars. And so by me doing this, I have lost about 25 pounds so far. And so I don't usually have sandwiches or anything like that. I usually make myself lettuce wraps or something like that. But I know for this first tomato sandwich, I wanted to use some bread. And the other night I had made some barbecue pulled pork in my crock pot. And I bought these buns to use for that, for my kids and my husband to be able to use. And then I bought some portobello mushroom caps, and I use those as my bun. And I'll put up a photo of it so you can see what it looked like. But anyways, for my purposes today, I'm taking one for the team, and I'm having this my first tomato sandwich with bread. And so also I have here some Duke's mayonnaise that I am going to be putting on this sandwich. And I also have some Montreal steak seasoning. And I like this because it has salt in it already, and it has bigger pieces of black pepper and cracked pepper and stuff. So, and some other seasoning. So I'm going to use that on my tomato sandwich. But you guys, I'm so excited to try this. This is what I ordered this Duke's mayonnaise for. A lot of people that are from the South swear by this mayonnaise. And you guys, I've already tasted it, tried it for the first time, and I must say it does taste good. I am going to try and make my own homemade mayonnaise, but right now this is what I'm using for my first tomato sandwich. Okay, so I'm just going to layer these pieces of tomato. That part of the tomato is not so bad, but this other part is kind of squishy and falling apart. So let me see. Oh my goodness, it still tastes good though. Oh man. You guys, that tomato is extra juicy, extra sweet. by far, this is my favorite tomato. And I will continue to keep growing this tomato every season because it is my favorite. Well, that is that. Okay, so since I ran out of that one, I am going to use, right. So this is the seasoning I'm going to put on there because I didn't have enough of the other one. There's also with cracked pepper and some of the same spices and stuff. So, not too bad. Okay, I'll leave that there. Okay, you guys, so this is what I've got. My first tomato sandwich. Let's see. And I'll let you know what I think about it. It's so juicy, it's already dripping out of the bread here. Oh my goodness. Look, it's all over my mouth. I didn't think to put a napkin over here close by. You guys, with that seasoning on there and that mayonnaise, that tomato is good. I'm only gonna take another couple of bites and then I'm gonna give this to my daughter. All right. I'm gonna give that to my daughter, and I am gonna make me a different sandwich. But before I do that, let me try this. Okay, so now let me try and see what these ground cherries are going to taste like in this coleslaw. That would sound good. I got better manners than this, you guys. But when stuff tastes good, sometimes you just can't help yourself. Look at that. Yeah. It adds just the right sweetness to it for me. So, if you make coleslaw, or I should say the next time you make coleslaw, and you want to try something different in your coleslaw, try eating ground cherries that you are growing in a different manner, maybe instead of just snacking with them or whatever, you can use them in your coleslaw. Man, that's good. Okay, so I want to show you one more thing. Okay, you guys, so now I'm going to assemble my real lunch. I'm still using Duke's mayonnaise. It's just a squirt bottle. Because it'll just make it easier to put it on here. And I'm still using the same seasoning, herb seasoning. And to it I'm adding some bacon. And this is some fresh bacon. My hubby and I, we bought a hog and had it butchered so that we could have meat in our freezer. So, okay, so first of all, I'm going to, oh, that wasn't good. Add some mayonnaise. Okay, there we go. Add some mayonnaise. I'm just gonna spread this a little bit on this lettuce. Like so. And then I'm gonna place my tomato pieces. On here. Like so. And I'm gonna bite into this one. So good. So good. Alright. And then I'm gonna add these bacon. You guys, if you've never had fresh bacon, oh, you don't know what you're missing. Not grocery store bought. Nothing grocery store bought compares to fresh bacon. Oh, and I'm going to put a little seasoning on here. Let me move the bacon first. So it'll be on the tomatoes. Because the bacon is peppered. My butcher peppers the bacon for me and smokes it for me. I do sometimes smoke my own bacon, but I just haven't had time to do it. So I went on ahead and let the butcher do it for me. And I'm just gonna roll this like so. And there is my lettuce roll or wrap with my tomato in there. And just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna cut it so you guys can see. And I'm gonna make it all pretty, but it's all going to the same place. There it is. Looks really good. And I guess I will take a bite as well. I already know it's gonna be good. I just wanna take a bite because I can't wait to take a bite. And this is how I normally eat my sandwiches. Wrapped in lettuce like that. I am going to be putting out more videos like this, hopefully. Just showing you how I'm using the things that I harvest out of my garden and just sharing my food adventure. Like I said, I've already lost like 25 pounds, so I'm going to continue to not eat as much sugar. Some people say, oh, you're doing the keto diet. No, it's not keto because I still eat carbs. I just pick and choose which carbs and how much of those carbs I'm willing to sacrifice and eat. A little bit of carb with my breakfast, and then the rest of the day, no carbs at all. Well, I can't say none at all, but low carb everything else. For instance, I might have half of a English muffin with my breakfast. And then the rest of the day, I don't eat any kind of bread or pasta or potato or anything that's high in carbs. I eat mostly veggies and stuff like that. So, and I make certain dishes that would go along with that scenario, such as the barbecue pulled pork that I made in the crock pot and using the portobello mushroom caps as buns. That's just what I'm doing. I don't try and deprive myself of anything. If I want to take a bite of, like, let's say some cake or something sweet, I'll do it. I've trained myself to not use sugar in my coffee anymore. So I'm drinking just coffee with cream in it. No sugar. No sugar in my teas either. I always have my tea sugar-free. I don't use the sweeteners either because they're not that great of a trade-off. The only time I use the sweeteners in my drinks is like when I drink the sugar-free drinks like Crystal Light. Not even soda. I gave up soda completely about a year ago. Every so often, along with my husband, because he is diabetic, or was. I don't even know if I told you guys, with the diets that we've been eating and the way that we've been eating, he was able to get off his medication for diabetes. But anyways, he still sticks to a sugar-free or a sugarless, but he does use, like, he'll eat some sweets that have artificial sweeteners. So sugar-free, like cookies and things like that, he will still have that stuff. And I'll make him some desserts like that using the artificial sugars. So anyways, those are the only times that I'll use that. But I didn't mean for this to turn into a nutritional or dietary video or anything like that. I just wanted to be real with you guys and show you how I've been eating and what I've been doing, and how I use the food that I get out of my garden. So if you've watched it all the way through to this point, thank you so much for that. Because not all the time do people watch to the very end. So I applaud you. Thank you so much. And as always, you guys, God bless.